In this video, we will be finding the area of composite figures. Now, a composite figure is a polygon or some type of a shape that is made up of a bunch of different shapes. And so in order to figure out what the area is, we need to break it down. And to break it down is called to decompose. This first example is an odd-shaped polygon, but we can find the area of this polygon by decomposing it into two separate rectangles, finding the area of those rectangles, and then adding the two areas together. The first thing that I need to do is figure out where I need to break this polygon in order to create two separate rectangles. Notice that I decided to break this polygon straight down, creating two separate rectangles. I chose to do this because I'm very familiar with the characteristics of a rectangle. I understand that opposite sides of a rectangle are equal, so that'll help me find the measurements that I need in order to find the areas of these two separate rectangles. If we focus on the yellow rectangle, I know that I need to find the area of the base times height, or area equals base times height. So I need to figure out what the base is in this problem. And the base is usually a measurement found at the bottom of the shape. Well, because I understand that opposite sides of a rectangle are the same, I know that since I have a measurement up top of 5 inches, that the bottom of this rectangle will also be 5 inches. Therefore, I can begin filling out my formula. Area equals 5 times the height is 3. Now, when I multiply those together, I figure out that the area of the yellow rectangle is 15 square inches. Next, I need to find the area of the green rectangle. Well, this is going to be a little trickier because I don't have a base measurement that I can just copy from the top to the bottom. Instead, I need to look at the measurement at the bottom, which is 11 inches. The 11 inches is a measurement that spans the entire length of this polygon. Well, since I know that 5 inches of those 11 inches are used with this yellow rectangle, that means that I'm going to have to subtract 11 minus 5 to figure out what's left for the green rectangle. That means I'll have 6 inches left for the green rectangle. 6 inches plus 5 inches gives me the total distance of 11 inches. And now I'm going to find the area of the green rectangle by using the formula area equals base times height. The base for the green rectangle is 6, and the height for the green rectangle is 10. When I multiply those two together, I find that my area is 60 square inches. So the area of the green rectangle is 60 square inches. And the final step in this problem is to add the areas of both rectangles, which gives me a total area of 75 square inches. This next example is similar in that the shape looks sort of the same. The difference, though, is that I will have to break this polygon into even more pieces. In this problem, I decided to break this polygon straight down here at the bottom, and I also decided to break across the top by breaking it at those two locations. I've now created 3 separate shapes two rectangles, and a triangle. And now I'll need to find the area of each of these three shapes. I'll use the same method that I used on the last problem, and especially for the yellow rectangle. In the last problem, since the measurement on top of the yellow rectangle was 5 inches, that means the measurement on the bottom of the yellow rectangle is 5 inches, which will stand for my base. So the area is base times height, because that's a rectangle. I know that the base is 5 and the height is 3. And when I multiply them together, I find that the area of that yellow rectangle is 15 square inches. Now, when I move on to the green rectangle, like I did on the last problem, I need to subtract 5 inches from the total distance across the bottom, which is 11 inches, to figure out the distance of only the green rectangle, which comes out to 6 inches. Now I have my base and height, so I can find the area by multiplying base times height, which would be 6 times 10, which gives me an area of 60 square inches. Now this last part is the new part, and we need to focus on the triangle. Now, to start off, I'm going to write the formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. So I realize that I'm only looking for two measurements. I'm looking for the base of the triangle and the height of the triangle. Because I know that the green rectangle, the base of the green rectangle is the exact same distance as the base of the blue triangle, I know that my distance across my base is going to be 6 inches. Remember, opposite sides of a rectangle are the same length. Now I need to find the height of this rectangle. And this is going to be the tricky part, but what I'll need to use is this green line that spans the entire height of this polygon, which says that the entire polygon is 12 inches tall. Now I see this 10-inch measurement, which only stands for the green rectangle. That's the height of the green rectangle. So I will need to subtract the green rectangle's height from the total height, which is 12 inches. So I'll say 12 minus 10 means that the height of the green triangle is 2 inches. Now I have the measurements that I need to find the area of a triangle. So I'll say area equals 1/2 times, instead of the base, I will use the number 6, and instead of the height, I will use 2. Now remember, in class we talked about multiplying the 1/2 times an even number. Before those numbers get too big, it'll make it easy for us. So 1/2 times 6, or 1/2 of 6, is 3. Now I need to multiply that by 2 to give me an area of 6 square inches for the blue triangle. And the final step here is to add the areas of all three shapes, which gives me a total of 81 square inches. This is how we will find area of composite figures.